Good morning, ladies. Good morning, lady. We're just about to get some coffees before we head up to the mountains and find ourselves in a little bit of snow. All right, we're starting our climb up the hill here. As you can see, still nice and green, but just you wait, just you wait. Little more snow, little more snow. What is going on today, guys? My name's Alex. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very special video for you guys. Once again, we are back at the testing grounds up in the mountains at Mount Washington Alpine Resort. And today we are going to be testing out open differentials and how you can potentially improve your off-road capability with open differentials using the brake trick, hydraulic lockers, if you will. We'll throw this thing in some snow and we'll hopefully get her a little bit hung up in two-wheel drive. We're gonna see if any of these tips and tricks actually work in a real-world situation. Firstly, obviously we gotta get the truck stuck. Secondly, we're gonna test the truck with traction control on versus when it is off. Thirdly, we're gonna try to put the parking brake on the rear wheels and see if that does anything, see if that equals out the torque distribution or the torque resistance of each wheel. And then lastly, what we're gonna do is actually use the brake pedal and see if we can apply enough brake pressure to get both wheels to spin and help us get out of a sticky situation. But the goal of today is to see if both rear wheels will spin at the same time. And if they do, that will dramatically increase your off-road capability if you do get yourself stuck off-road. Now, before we do get this thing stuck, I just want to talk to you guys real briefly about the channel getting over 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I just make these videos because they're fun to make and it's just kind of stuff I find interesting. So I'm really hoping to keep this channel kind of growing throughout the year. My personal goal is to try and get this channel to 10,000 subscribers by next year. I think that's a very feasible goal. And if I do, we're gonna hopefully bring this truck up to the Arctic Ocean. There is a road, it's called the Dempster Highway. It goes all the way up through the Yukon and the Northwest Territories, and it's open in the winter, and the last stretch to the Arctic Ocean is actually an ice road. So that's the goal for me this year. Hopefully you guys join me for the ride. Let's get this thing buried in some snow, and we will see if this open differential has any tricks. I think we're a little bit hung up here. We're a little bit hung up here. This wheel is slightly elevated, so this wheel is going to just spin and spin and spin with an open differential because the other wheel has a little bit more traction, so the torque is going to go to the side with least resistance, aka this side. So now I'm not going to spin this wheel like crazy because with open differentials, as the power is transferred just to one wheel, all of that torque is transferred through the spider gears in the differential carrier, and those spider gears are not necessarily meant to have continuous torque flow through them. You can actually burn them up really easily and blow a differential. So we're not going to go crazy here, but we are going to see this wheel spin and the other wheel not spin. Now, first of all, we'll just do a little trial run just to make sure I'm telling you the truth. So I'll show you that right now, and then we'll go from there. All right, so what we saw is basically what I just predicted. The other wheel spun nice and freely, and this wheel stayed basically 100% stationary. Now that was with traction control on, and what traction control is supposed to do, or what it tries to do, is apply some brake pressure to the far wheel that was spinning, therefore forcing torque through this axle and then to spin this wheel. Now we didn't see that happen at all, so we know that the traction control is really not going to help you in a stuck situation with an open differential. So what we'll do next is we'll turn the traction control off and we'll see what happens, if the exact same thing happens or if we'll actually get some different results and see if this wheel will spin. So once again, this wheel stayed stationary with the traction control off this time. I just want to show you guys that traction control doesn't really help in a stuck situation. It's more so to help you from completely flying off a road. And in a spin out condition, let's say, traction control does tend to help. So next what we're gonna do is we are going to apply some hydraulic pressure or some braking pressure to these wheels and see if we can get this wheel to spin. So if we see both wheels spinning, we'll know that applying the brake does in fact help with an open differential when you are in a stuck condition. Is that wheel still spinning?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought I was actually going to get some wheel spin on the other side, but I didn't, and I was mashing that brake pedal pretty good. I'm actually kind of shocked. I thought for sure I could get that wheel to spin with applying some brake pressure. Interesting, very interesting. Real world testing. We learn something every day. Now, lastly, what I'll do is I'll apply the park brake, which will just apply brake pressure to the rear axle, and we'll see if that does anything. My feeling is no, but I've been wrong before. So let's do that next. Well, there we have some results. This wheel didn't spin no matter what I did. There you go. Make sure your truck doesn't have open differentials because they do suck and there is nothing you can do. Let me know if you guys think I didn't do something right when I tried to apply brake pressure to these things. With the park brake, I tried with it fully down, then with just halfway up. With the actual brakes, I applied the brakes slowly and then use the accelerator pedal and then really press them down. So I gave it a good go, and I just couldn't get power to this wheel. Very interesting. So I don't know, maybe everyone online about this brake trick thing is lying. I don't know. Now that we're obviously very stuck here in a real world bush situation with two-wheel drive with an open differential, how else are we going to get ourselves unstuck? Because obviously all of my tactics didn't work. So like I said, I bought these things for these traction pads for about $100 at good old Canadian Tire. The Max Trax name brand ones were like $300 Canadian. Didn't feel like spending that. So we'll see if these things are any good. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's still there.
So I think we've come to the conclusion, at least I have, what the problem is here. As you can see, this came up, hit my fender real nice, loved it. But now this is properly under the wheel now, even though it looks kind of wonky, it's properly under the wheel. So this should pull the truck out. What the problem is that I have, again, an open differential. So if we come to the other side, follow me over here, folks, you'll see that this traction pad over here is not under the wheel. And so what's going to happen is all the power is going to go to this wheel that has no traction. So what we'll do is we'll take the traction pads out. We'll just rock this truck back and forth, and she should come out pretty easily. All right, I think we've actually made ourselves a little bit stuck here. This thing isn't rocking at all, so we're gonna get the old shovel out. I think what's happened is, you can see there's some snow that's kind of up and under the truck here, right at the doors. We'll try and clear some of that out because the truck kind of wants to move sideways just because it's on a little bit of a slant. So what we'll do is we'll clear that out, and then we'll see what happens. So it turns out the best tip and trick or gadget to have in your truck when you're off-roading in the snow is a shovel. This is the #1 tool, baby. It's what actually gets you unstuck. There's no gimmicks, there's no nothing, just a little hard work. Our other conclusion of the day is that open differentials are terrible. If you're going off-road, make sure you have some lockers or at least a limited slip differential, because you're gonna end up like I did and gonna have to shovel your way out. And that is the truth. There really is no braking trick, and as many tips and tricks as there may be, the real solution is to put a locker in your truck, or always make sure you have a shovel. Always comes in handy. There you go, guys. That concludes some real world testing. Just to really conclude that open differentials, there really is no fix. The only fix is to really put a locker in there, or at least a limited slip differential. As always, I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Helps the channel out, helps me out. Like I said, my goal this year is to get to 10,000 subscribers. I think it's possible. And if I do, we are going to take you on a journey. I plan on taking this truck up to the Arctic Ocean. It's about a 5-day trip, and I plan on doing it in the winter with this truck. If that sounds interesting, maybe think about sticking around and subscribing. Anyways, enough of me blabbing on here. Hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you on the next frickin' video.